So yeah. So today we're gonna discuss about what is the Unix and Linux like. Uh, so Unix is a computer operating system like which is capable of handling multiple users or multiple things at the same time. So it is an operating system. I mean to say that like multiple users, multiple tasks at the same time we can operate by using Unix. So Unix, it is started 1969, like they developed around 1969 at AT&T Bell Labs and developed by Ken Thomas and Dennis Ritchie. They are owners of this Unix. So I have a question for you. Like most of you people, some of the people already working and no. So do you feel Unix and Linux are both are same? How it is? Like, can anyone answer? Unix and Linux both are same or are different? If it is different, what way it is different? Anyone have answer? I'm just waiting for your response. If anybody like it is not correct, if it is wrong, also no problem. Like you can speak up. Hello.
Actually, no idea about this thing.
Okay. Anyone? So Unix, I mean to say that like operating system Unix and Linux, both are same or different. So I'll see. So basically, Unix and Linux, it's not a synonyms actually. It's not a true. Unix is different and Linux is different. But Unix is the first product. It came out to the market like in 1969. It just came out to the market like they did, Dennis Ritchie and no they developed the Unix. And Linux, we mean to say that it is a clone of Unix. Meaning they developed the Unix product. So after that, they're trying like people are trying to clone the same kind of Unix, and they named as Linux. So several features similar to Unix. In Linux also we have a several things. It is similar to Unix, but Unix and Linux are completely different. So before Linux and Windows, right? So Unix was like much demanding and most popular operating system actually. Why? Because this that one is the like Unix is first one they have developed, right? That is the reason it is most popular. After that, like we came to the market like Linux and Windows. These operating systems came into the market. So these are the some of the differences between Linux and Unix. So when we see the definition point of view, it is a open source. Linux is open source and freely available for everyone. Unix is a copyright system. Like it is also operating system, but it limited for users, only a particular set of users. So when it comes to examples, right, most of my experience, most of the things like I used these things only Linux. So it has different distributions like Ubuntu, Red Hat, Fedora. So most of my experience I used these three things only. So here Unix also we have IBM, AIX, Sun Solaris. These things are different flavors of Unix. So users means like nowadays everyone are using Linux. Like our personal computers also, so many people are installing Linux and they are going to play. They are playing with Linux actually. Like I saw some of the people, they are not going to install Windows. They are installing Linux and no. They're trying to enhance their knowledge. So here Unix is mainly developed for servers and workstation and mainframes. Like whenever any deployment comes up or something like that, it is completely corporate product and particularly limited set of users they have developed. So here Linux also we used for servers, PCs and smartphones and tablets. So why? Because most of the features what we have in Unix, Linux also support most of the features. Not all, but most of the features it will support. So that is the reason here also it will act as a server. So something like a PCs and smartphones, tablets, we are using Linux. So here it is used for servers and workstations. Cost means like it is freely available and we can download and we can use it. When it comes to Unix, it is a corporate system. It is different from vendors. But in Linux also we have enterprise edition, different editions are available. So depending upon organization, they'll choose their environment. So development, like it is open source. So development means it is open source. Like it is like most of the open source projects are contributed by worldwide developers. Meaning, so in a worldwide, like there are so many people are working. So whoever is interested particular this project, so they'll take a clone of this project. Meaning in a GitHub they have a repository, so they'll try to clone this repository, any project, any open source project. So they'll any open source public project, I mean to say that some private projects is there. So open source public projects, like if in an organization some people are working, some you mean to say that at least I'm interested, I'll clone that particular repository. So I'll develop my own kind of a features. So I'll suggest one change to whoever is owner of this particular open source project. So if they're okay, then they will merge these projects actually. So this is you mean like this we can say open source. It is developed, we already discussed. It is developed by AT and T laboratory and developed by two people. So operating system, it is just a kernel, but Unix is completely operating system. We'll see like what is a kernel and everything in a few minutes. Okay. So this is architecture of you meant to say that Linux actually. We can say Unix also same architecture, but I already discussed like it is a clone of the product, right? So we can compare Unix and Linux, same architecture. So first thing we have a hardware. This is a hardware. Then we have a kernel. Kernel, you mean to say what is a kernel? It is the heart of this operating system. So whatever we can say Unix or Linux, this kernel is heart of this operating system and interact with the hardware. And most of the tasks like this kernel will interact with the hardware. Most of the memory management and task scheduling and file management tasks, it is handled by this kernel. This one is main important in any operating system like Unix or Linux. This kernel is very much important. So when we talk about shell is a utility in the sense it is a kind of a software where you are giving something input, so it is giving something to your response. So in an organizations, like most of the people, they develop some Excel utility. For example, if they are going to fill some Excel sheet columns for their timesheet tracking, those things, right, they will develop some utilities to automate the tasks. So something like that. This is also shell is a kind of a utility. So it will process your request. When you type a command at your terminal, like when you enter, yesterday we saw, right, on a black screen. So we created one EM, like in AWS, we created one EC2. There we have created one virtual machine. Then we saw one black screen, right? Same thing, it will be there. Then when we type any command, it will be giving a response. The cell interact with the command line and call the particular program. Meaning these are the like commands, like whatever the commands like we type, it will interact with them. And then whatever the program like cd means change directory, it will change the directory. So something like that, it will give the output to us. Okay, I think you understood, right? In shell also we have a different shells actually. We have a C shell and K shell and different things we have there. Like when we are saving, like in shell scripting, when we are doing uh, any kind of a script, right? Then we got to know like .hs file, sh files, and khs files. So when we do shell script, right? Are different actually. Like kshell dot sh shell and event shell. There are several shells available in the market. Like these are, we can say, these are the shells in the market. So, okay, we'll go for next. So we understood it. These are all the commands what we are going to perform in the operating system. So when we talk about directory structure, right? This is the directory structure. Like first we have a root folder, and then we have a. This is a kind of like when we. I'll show you. Maybe just wait for 1 minute. I'll create one instant and I'll show you. Yeah. I already logged in. I'll try to create one more like one instance in EC2. So this one we already discussed yesterday. Here, I'll say launch instance. So I'll go ahead here. This is a different types of AMIs. So I'm interested in Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So I'll select this. So same thing. Yesterday we discussed, right? These are the family T2.micro. It is freely available. So I'll go ahead with this thing. And this one also, like number of instance, like I'm going to create one. So we are not creating more things. Like this is a volume 10 GB by default. It is coming as like that is sufficient enough for us. Then security group, I already selected default security group. I'm not going to create a new one. I'm selecting only default one. So we can review here, and I'm going to launch this. So here key pair also existing one. So I think I'm not able to see any key pair here. 1 minute. So when we see create instance, launch this. So I think yesterday one key pair will be there, but I'm not able to see this one. We'll create a new key pair. So I'll give you a key pair name. So I see this is one. This is the file. With this file, we are going to access our instance. Then I'll launch my instance. Meanwhile, right, we'll go ahead and convert this one. PPK PEM file is there, right? So it won't support. So we'll try to convert that. But I already have yesterday's one. We'll see. So this is the tool to convert PEM file to PPK file. So I already have this thing, but again, we'll see. We'll convert this one. We'll try to use. I'll save here in D drive, AWS. I'll say Linux. So now I converted PEM to PPK file. Okay. We'll see now our instance is running or not. So it is checking, like here we will see it like 2 by 2 checks. Then only we can able to log in. Otherwise, if you log in also, it is giving a failure. Like a network error, some errors it will give you. Yeah, wait for 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes here. I'll copy this IP4 public IP. Okay, I'm going to log in. But my status checks are still initializing. Like after that only I can able to log in. If you log in also, it will throw an error. Yes, I will see like how it will throw an error. So, Linux key, if we see, yeah, it is okay. Now the status checks are done. We'll see if it is accepting or not. I think it will give you error. I'll see. Yeah, it is throwing an error. Why? Because like we logged in before the status checks are done. So we'll log in one more time. Putty. So here I'll copy this IP address, and in auth I'll go here. I'll select my Linux key and open it. I'm not sure it is taking time. Yeah. So I understood. Like we need to set inbound and outbound rules here. So here you will see, right, security group. In security group, we like when we created new one, right, we have to set inbound and outbound rules. So here. Enter. Dashboard, one running instance. So here we see, right, edit inbound rules. So I'll select SSH. So here I'll say anywhere, and I'll say I'm not going to add, like I'll just say add rule. It is added. Save rule. Delete one. This one. This is enough for us. Just I'll say save rule. So now we need to add inbound rule and outbound rule also. We have to add. 1 minute. So you're able to see, right, SSH, we have added in like inbound rule. Then same way we have to add outbound rule. Edit outbound rule. Here SSH, and I'll select anywhere and just add this rule. This one I can delete, this one. Save. So now we have added our inbound rule and outbound rule. Why? Because this one, like I'm not able to see the private key what I already created. So that is the reason we have added. So we'll try now. One more time we'll try to connect, try to access this instance. See, you will take a public IP address. So, SSH authentication here. So Linux key. Yeah, we'll see now. See, now it is accepting. So you might also face same issues. We have to edit inbound and outbound rules. So EC2-user. Now I'm able to log in my EC2 mission. So when I type ls-lat, this is list short list I'm typing. Like pwd, it will give you my present working directory, like where I'm working. I'm in home directory and EC2. EC2 is my username. So same thing we are discussing here, right? The directory structure. So we'll go on root, like root means slash. We'll go to root. So how we need to go to root means like we have to change the directory. Change the directory means cd double dot. When we do this, like we can go ahead one step back. Means you are in previously in EC2. Now you will go to home. I'll check. PWD means present working directory. Before we are in EC2. Now we are in home directory. I'll go one more step backwards. Now again I'll check present working directory. Wherever you are there, like you are in root. Same thing we are discussing, like we are in root. Then we'll see all these files present or not. We'll see here. Okay. ll-lat. So you're able to see this all files, right? This is a system files. You're able to see, right? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
we are able.
you're able to see all the files, right? So we'll go ahead, like what the files, and one by one we'll discuss. So here these are the actually files actually. So we have a slash bin. Bin means like all the binaries, like operating system binaries and everything stored in slash bin directory. And then like we have s bin. So system, like some of the system bin files, those binary files, it will store here. So etc means like configuration files. Whatever the configuration files needed for a particular operating system, it will store here. And the same thing, like slash dev means the device files, slash like proc means process information, var means variable files, temp means temporary files, usr means like user programs. And then like we have like home directory. In home, no, like if you're like, this is a root directory. So if we are creating one more user, it will be created for each user. The home directory will be different. Okay, I'll show you. So I'm just clearing my screen. So we are in root directory, correct? When we go to cd, so you're able to see, right? EC2 user. Why? Because we have only one user, right? So this particular user have whatever the information this particular user have, those information will be there inside this folder. So if you have created more than one users, like in real time, like we do have like more than one users. So we'll talk about more in that users. So whatever users we have created, it will be we can able to see in a cd home. Okay. So here home, and then boot, like system boot files, like whenever the system is booting, whatever the files needed, it will store in slash boot files and library system libraries. These things it will store in libraries. And same way, like opt and mount directory, like we have different mounts also. So those mount points also it will store in slash mnt. These mounts, and we'll discuss further, not now, maybe future we'll discuss what is amount and everything. So slash srb means service data files. Those are these things, these all files will store and different segregation. Each directory have their own respective responsibility, so that those files will be saved here. Okay. Then next one. So when we see like Unix and Linux, like there are some advantages as well as there are some disadvantages as well. So when we talk about pros, right, we have multitasking. So multitasking in the sense like there is a concept called in Unix or Linux, there is a concept called cron jobs. Cron jobs in the sense you no need to be there in the live. So you can schedule a job, meaning you can put an alarm, something like that. You can schedule a job today at 12:30 or something like that. So it will automatically, it will run those jobs. You can go home and you can do whatever you want. Like at 12, like nobody will be there, right? Nightly, so those we can call it as a nightly build jobs. So some jobs will be running on nightly. So uh, whatever jobs, like we can schedule more than one job. So it is a multitasking. So it is used in large organizations. So when we compare, right, it is more secure. Like why? Because our applications are going to deploy, right? It is more secure. So it is freely available. And when we talk about the cons, right, it is not user friendly. Why? Because it is a command line thing. It is not user friendly. And we have high learning curve. Why? Because we have to learn each and every command, and we have to learn shell script and all. It is, tightly binded, like lowercase, uppercase, everything we have to learn. And compatibility issues also, it will be there. Like one version of Linux will not support some kind of a tools. One version of Unix will not support some Jenkins or some other things. It will be there. We have to check compatibility as well. These are the drawbacks actually. Next, like these are the some of the commands, like whom I will see these commands here. So first, who am I? So who am I means like it will give you the user. Like what is the username here? EC2 user. So it is giving I am a EC2 user. So when you logged in like a system administrator or some other, like in organization we have some different permission levels we'll talk about further. So when we logged in, like it will show you our username, like if you are EC2 or if you are a developer or if you have a different like access levels will be there. So it will show you actually. So CAL means it will give you a calendar kind of like what is a current month and year and what is the current date. So it will show you. If you type about the date, so it will give you like Sunday, June, and with the time, everything it will give you. Okay. So, and like we already discussed, like ls means listing files and directories stored in the current directory. So I think we ls, so whatever the things, like only we have this one only, right? So that is the reason it is showing EC2. So we'll go to user, we'll type here ls. So nothing is there, ls hyphen lart. So now you are able to see these files, right? So first you typed ls, you are not able to see anything, correct? Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So first you typed ls, you're not able to see anything. But again you did ll-lart. Again you're able to see these files. Why? Because means -a, whatever we are typing here a, right? It will show you whatever the files there. Here hidden files also. Like whatever the files are hidden, those files also it will show you all the files. So that is a different, main different. LL means long list. This is means ls means short list. It will LL means it will give you more information about your files, whatever the permissions, what is the group name, how many any file, like how many data it is taking. So these kind of information we are able to see here. And yeah, so we saw, right, this structure, like each and everything what is what we will they discuss. So we divided like means like first column, like a second column. First column means like whatever here DRW, like this is all first column. Like whatever number we are seeing, right, this is the second column, and this is the third, and this one is fourth, and this one is fifth. Sixth means a date, till date December 25th, and time, everything we can combine together one column. And this is a file name. So all together these are the 7 columns. These 7 column details are represented here. So first column, what it is representing, it is the giving a permissions, like whether it is permissions given to a file. Below describes all type of permissions, like what are the read write permissions. R means read, W means write, X means execute. Read write permissions, all whatever the files here, right? So this particular file permissions listed here. So second column represents memory blocks. This particular file, how many blocks of memory it is occupied. So this USR file occupied 8 blocks of memory. This UNIV file occupied 2 blocks of memory. So it is a memory block status. So third column represents the user who created this file. So it is representing like who created this particular file. So here it is saying like like Ormond created some file. Like when we see here, so LART. So see, these are files created by EC2 user, but we haven't created. These are the system created, already system created. See, these dot files are like root. Root means the administrating files. Like I'll try to create one file. Touch means like touch is a command to create a new file. Okay, I'll say test touch test. Just I'll create one file and then I'll ls-lart. So if you see here, test file is created. Who is created? EC2 user, right? EC2 user created this particular file. Same way. So this is a creator. Like third one is like who, the owner of the file, and who is the created this file. Fourth represents the group of the owner. Group in the sense, if you're working in a project, like if you're working in a real-time project, you assign some of the server. So when you assign some of the server, right, there will be some system administrator. Then they have some access, developer access. Some other people will be there. So like your access bound to which group, that will tell here. So your access bound to administration group, or your access bound to developer group. So whatever group we have, right, it will listed here. Like in an organization level, we have different groups specific to that particular project. So then fifth column, the size in bytes, like whatever the size, like this particular file, whatever the size in bytes, how much size it is occupied, it is showing. And this one we already discussed. This is a date, like we discussed like date and time, it will show you here. And these are the file names, whether these are files or directories, it will show you here. Okay, I think like this limit is like going to end at 3 minutes, right? I'll share one more invite. Okay, meanwhile, if you disconnected, you can join over there. So we already discussed, right? CD means change directory. So I am there in so right now present PWD means present working directory, where I am there, home EC2 user. If I enter CD tilt, this is a tilt symbol. If I press CD tilt, I'll go to my home directory. So this is my home, right? Same way I'm here only. Like if you go outside of directory and type present working directory, you are in /home, but you want to come to your home, like you are in some other directory, but you don't want to be there and you want to come to your home directory, then you have to press CD and this tilt symbol, then will come to our home directory. You are in home EC2 user. You understood, right? Here just I changed the directory. I was there in home, one level above my EC2 user. Then again I gave CD till symbol. I checked. So you are in your home directory now. So when you are in working in a different directories, you forgot like where I am there. So you want to move with a one command. You want to move your home directory. This is a command CD tilt. So when you type CD tilt, wherever you are there, you will come to your home directory. Your home means your user. Like here, my user is EC2 user. That is the reason home EC2 user it is created. If my username is different, my username is Teja, it will create like home /Teja. If here my username different, home slash some x it will create slash home y. So you are there in some directory like var, you know, FedEx, and some like you are there here, right? So when we want to come to home directory, you just use a command called cd tilt. When we use this command, it will give you it will the access will go to your home directory. Okay, understood, right? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think the time is now over. So I am going to share one more invite. Please join that invite. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one like when we are in a different different somewhere var app somewhere in a directory FOO. So it will give you your home. So if you want to create, like in Windows also we are creating one folder, right? Like directory nothing but a folder. If you want to create any folder, we use a command called mkdir, make directory. So I discussed, like if you want to go back to one step ahead, cd double dot we use. Like if you want to change to particular directory, and we are going to use cd and where you are going, the path of the particular directory. So if you want to delete some directory, right, we're going to use rmdir. Rmdir meaning remove directory, remove this particular directory. So this is a move command. So this one command, like we can use renaming also. Like if you have already one directory, if you want to rename that thing, like we can also rename, and we can also move this one directory, one location to another like location. We'll see a demo on these commands. So first you already saw, right? Like this one, we go ahead. What is that? Like we are in a different thing. So right now we are in home. If you press cd double dot, it will go to one step ahead, meaning it will go to root directory. This is a root directory. So if you want to go to home directory, cd tilt. So then I'll type pwd, present working directory. You are in home ec2, meaning my user. So here I'm trying to create one directory. Command for that mkdir, and I want to name my directory. Directory meaning folder, one folder. I'll give test1. Okay. So here test1 directory is created, right? So here D meaning it is a directory, and like nothing is there, right? It is we can call it as a file. Here you're able to see, right? First three files, we're not able to see D, just hyphen is there. So these three things we can consider as a files, but whatever their D, we can consider as a folders. Here also these two things we can consider a folder. So here I have created test. So this is a folder, but inside a folder nothing is there. So just I have created for demo purpose. So if you want to remove, like you don't want to be there this folder, you don't want this folder, then rmdir. Rmdir meaning remove directory. Which directory you want to remove? This test1 directory. Just I removed. So just you want to verify. If you want to verify this one, so there is no test1 directory, right? Again, I'll create one more directory called my name with my name. So lart. I'll just clear my screen. CLE, like to clear screen, we use CLE clear. It will clear screen. So lart. So now Teja is there. So I have created this folder, this directory. So I want to move this Teja to some other directory called X1. So now if you check, so there is no Teja. So whatever the Teja directory, it moved to X1. It is renamed, like whatever the directory Teja, it is renamed. It is also moved. Like if you want to move one directory to another, it will move. This is a command we use, move command. Okay. So next is a editor, like VI editor. How we are opening Notepad++ or Notepad, right? in Windows. Same way in Linux or in Unix, we have different editors like VA editor, Nano editor. Like I have much experience on VA editor, so I use this editor. So VA in the sense like in Windows, you can say it is a notepad or notepad plus plus. But whenever we type some content and then we save, right? Same way, VA is editor in Linux to type some content in the file and save it. And then if we don't want to save also, we can have different modes. So we have in VA editor, we have different modes like normal mode and insert mode and command mode and line mode. We'll discuss one by one what is these modes. So these are the keys. So like in Windows, right, we have a when we open file, this is the file. Yeah, when we open this file, like you're able to see save file, save as file, like new file, right? Meaning you have a GUI, but here do you have that? You don't have anything. GUI, nothing is there. So with the keys only, we have to manipulate whatever keys they are providing with the VA editor. With the keys only, we have to do functions here. So if you press escapes, it will give you normal mode. Normal mode in the sense, whenever we are in a different like insert mode or some other mode, it will give you normal mode. If you press I key, it will give you insert. So like if you want to create some data, if you want to enter some data into your file, if you press I, you're able to enter. So Q and exclamation, like if you press this, so you want to exit like without saving anything, whatever the file previous data it is there, it will exit. So when we press WQ, like colon WQ exclamation mark, like it is save the data and it will exit. We'll see this one. Okay. So I told you touch is a command to create a files. I'll going to create a test1 file, and with the VA editor, VA is editor to open this file. Already I have created test1 file, right? Just I'll open. So VA and test1, then I'll enter. So if you're entered, like you entered, now this is a normal mode. So if you want to insert some data in it, you have to press I. So when we press I, here you're able to see, right? Insert, meaning you can insert whatever you want. I'll enter hello. This is teacher. So when you want to come out from this mode, means what we need to press, like already we have escape button. So if you press escape, you will come out from this mode, meaning you can come out from insert mode to normal mode, right? I'll come out, I'll press escape. Now I'm not there in insert mode. What you need to do to save this content, WQ exclamation colon WQ exclamation. This is what to save, key to save and update a file, exit from the editor. So I want to save, right? Just I'll do this. So I saved it. So if you want to see that content, whatever we have saved in test1 file, right? So you want to see that content. So cat is a command. Cat meaning it will we can show what is the content inside this. Just cat is a command to see what is the content inside a file. So what is enter, like hello, this is Tej, I have entered, right? Understood, right? So with the cat command, we can able to see hello, this is Teja. So this is what editor of VA editor. We have different editors like Nano editor and NANO Nano is editor, and like we have different editors like which editor you are interested, which editor you are already aware of it, you can use it. So this is main important concept. Guys, like I'll discuss this one permissions and we'll end this session today. Okay. So permissions in the sense we already discussed, right? Like whatever permissions here in the first column, these and all are, like we can say these are permissions for this particular files. Who need to access what permissions it is have. It have read only permissions or write permissions or execute permissions, what permissions it have. So those kind of permissions we can segregate it here. So every file or a directory on a Unix or Linux system assigned to three types of owners. Owner in the sense who created, and the group, like this user linked to which group. We already discussed, right? That one. Group in the sense the here group. This is a owner and this is a group. Which group it is assigned. And all in the sense like some other users will be there. So they will be not part of user, they will be not part of a group, but still they can able to access these files. Meaning if you are in working in a real-time project, so you have a system administrator and you are a developer. So developer will have a user access. System administrator is a group owner, like they will create one owner. Suppose any tester want to test your application, want to see what is there inside, they will be comes under here all category. Why? Because they don't need to do anything, they just view this file. So they get only read-only access. Sometimes they want to execute some files, then with the system administrator, they can get the permissions, meaning they can get write permissions, they can get read permissions, they can get execute permissions. Okay. So if you consider a file or directory, so this is a like a virtual like overview, like a diagrammatical thing. So if you consider this is a directory or a file or a folder, so we have a three kinds of access. So one is a user and another one is a group, another one is all. So these three users, we have a different access, right? Read access, write access, execute access. We have three access. One is read, write, and execute. So permissions, like when we talk about permissions, right? Here we already, so file type and access permissions, these are the permissions. Like here we have read, write, R means read, W means write, R means read, W means write here, R means read. So read, write, read. So this indicates here we discussed D indicates it is a directory. This one just a file. Okay. So this one, the character are pretty easy to remember, like R is for read permission, W for write permission, X is for execute permission, and with this one hyphen is for no permission. So for a directory or file, there are three things we already discussed. This user is the one, and group is another one, and others. These three things will be there. For a file also, if we consider test file, like for user, group, all. So we need to give these permissions actually. For user, what kind of a permission you need to give? Like my user want to read, write, and execute. Read, write, and execute. Then group permissions. My group want read, write. I don't want to give execute permissions to my group. And for all users, I want to give only execute permissions. All users don't want to execute this file. Why? Because here I created only one mission and I'm executing, right? But in real time, it is not that case. So there are so many people accessing your server. So that time we need to have some privileges, some access root level. Why? Because if you change some files in some locations, right, it will impact your application. So that is the reason the administrator, the core administrator, the Linux or Unix administrator will not give access, complete access to all people. So limited set of people, they will give developer access, limited set of people, they will give write, read access, limited set of people, they will give no execute access. Okay. Yeah. So there are two types of use this command, like two things will be there. Like when we want to create a, like we can change the permissions. I told you, right? Administrator, we can change the permissions and we can, give the write access or read access, different access, right? One is a numeric way and another is a symbolic way. If you have remember this numerics, we can change, like chmod is a command to change the permission of a particular directory or a particular file. or as symbols also we have hyphen x hyphen w, like we discussed, w for read, x is for execute, r is for read. So these things also we will see one by one. Okay. See, we'll try to create one file and see this. So here when we see, right? Yeah, let's see this thing. So I have given 764. 764 in the sense 7 meaning read, write, execute. So here's, yeah, here 7 meaning read, write, execute. 7 meaning read, write, execute. Why? You know, I will discuss here. What is the 1 meaning? 1 permission, execute. 2 permission, write. 3 again execute plus write. 4 meaning read. So 7 in the sense 4 plus 3. If we count 4 plus 3, 7. 7 meaning we have a read, write, execute. All permissions will have for particular file. So 7 meaning it will have a read, write, and execute permissions. 6 meaning so only we have read and write, no execute permissions. 4 meaning we have only read permissions. Understood, right? Are any doubts here? Hello? You can talk to me, like no problem. You can talk to me.
Yes, understood.
So here see, they're trying to change like current directory file permission. They're trying to change. So first here they have a read, write. They have read, write. So like again we here we divide segregated into 3 things, right? One is user.
Your
Yeah. Hello. Now fine, right? You're able to hear?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
One is user. Another one is a group and all. So for these users, what kind of a permissions you have to give? With these numbers also you can give, or with the symbols also you can give. This one will discuss. That is what here. So first 3 things represents user. Second one, like whatever here, right? Read, write, and hyphen. User, they don't have execute permissions. Again, read, write, hyphen, meaning the group don't have execute permissions. Again, read, write, read only. It is only read access. They don't have write, they don't have execute, meaning all people, they don't have, you know, write and execute access. They only have read access. So they are trying to change 764. chmod is a command to change a file permissions. Sample is a file. So they're trying to change this permissions. So they're trying to assign 764 permission to the sample file. So 764 means user will have read, write access. User will have 7 meaning, 1 meaning execute, 2 meaning write, 3 meaning execute plus write, 4 meaning read. So if you consider 4 plus 3, 7. 7 meaning we can able to read, write, execute, full permission. 6 meaning only read, write, 4 meaning just a read. So they try to change this way. Okay. We'll see here. So I'll try to create one file, touch. I name it as demo. So my file I have created demo. See, default read, write, read, write, read. This is a default permissions. If you want to give full permissions for this file, chmod, I'll give 777. 777 meaning you are giving user full permissions, read, write, execute permissions, and you are giving group full permissions, read, write, execute. For all also you are giving read, write, execute permissions. So now I want to view my file. So here it is there in green color, so that it have a full permissions. See here, read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. Okay, at any point of time, we can change these files to, if I want to change read only, we can change it. LL-1 LART, it will show you. So see, I only given only read access. I'll see here. I'll try to change something. It will allow me or not, we'll see. So you're able to see, right? Here, warning. Read only file. You're able to see, right? Warning,
Yes.
changing it a read only file. So you can't able to change. Why? Because yeah, I'm going to press here escape and Q. I'll come out here. You can't able to change. Why? Because it have only read only access. It have only read only access. So that time what we need to do, chmod, you can give full permissions to this file and you can change it. Now you have full permissions to this particular file. Now I'll go and edit this file, demo. I'll press I to insert some text. Hello, I got access. So I just typed escape. Why? Because you need to come out from insert mode to normal mode. So colon WQ exclamatory. So whatever I have saved, whatever I have typed, this content I need to save. That is the reason we used WQ colon. Sorry, exclamatory. Then I want to view what is there inside in my file, demo file. So hello, I got access. Yeah, this is what file permissions real time. Sometimes like we can able to give permissions whatever we have created a file. So sometimes system administrator have a limited set of access, like he's the one who's the admin for this particular servers and everything. So he should able to provide access. If you don't have any access, right, you should request system administrator in real time, so that they will give a permissions, then you can able to access these files. So next set, what is there here? So PWD we already discussed, like what it will show, like what is working directory, and touch we already discussed. Copy meaning it is used for copy files from one existing to new file. Like we'll see this one, existing file and new file. Copy meaning copy file. So I'll say clear. So LL-1 LART. So I have a demo file. I'll copy to demo one. Demo one. We'll see. LL-1 LART. So now we have a demo one. If you want to copy, we used to copy file. Previously we used to move, but when we do a move command, whatever older directory or older file, it won't be exist. So it will rename or it will move. So move, it will be what you can say. It will it won't be like whatever the older file. If you have like demo, if you want to see like demo, I want to change x2. So when we do this command demo, it won't be available. The demo, it will be renamed to x2. But when we do copy demo, it will directly copy whatever there inside this content. It will copy to demo one. That is the change. Move and copy command. Okay. So yeah, with this I'm